Paradigms control the results in your life. They have the power over everything. Relationships, your income. And you know, when you shift your paradigm, everything in your life improves. Hello, I'm Bob Proctor, and I want to welcome you to Paradigm Shift, where we're going to teach you how to make dramatic improvements in the quality of your life, in every aspect of your life. You know, paradigm shifting is something that we should teach in school. We should teach it to little kids, and they'd get it, and then they'd have a charmed life. If you want to improve the results, the paradigm has to be shifted. You know, Eric Hoffer one time said, no matter what our achievements might be, we think well of ourselves only in rare moments. We need people to bear witness against our inner judge, who keeps book on our shortcomings and transgressions. We need people to convince us that we are not as bad as we think we are. You know, Eric Hoffer was a wise man, and I think that he hit the nail right on the head here. Who do you think that inner judge is? You know, that little voice inside that's telling you you can't do this or you can't do that. You can't do many of the things you say you want to do. Well, I suppose the real secret is figuring out what you want to do and then understand clearly how to get rid of that little voice inside. Now, I don't know as we ever completely get rid of it. I refer to it as the monkeys in our mind that keep talking to us, telling us what we can't do. But I do know this, that we can overpower them. We can take control over the quality of our life. You know, winning and losing have been taught about for, I guess, as far back in recorded history as you can go. And there are some people, they're just winners. You see it, you see what they do. It doesn't matter what they seem to do. You knew kids like this when you were in school. They aced all the exams. Quite frankly, I never liked those kids very well. And for good reason. They made me look worse than I even was. But why is it that some people are always winning and others are always losing? Well, you'll say they're just stupid, but that's not true. That's not true. Do you know that some of the people that are losing are absolutely brilliant? It's true. And some of the people who are winning are not very bright at all. Do you know that there's people who are absolutely brilliant and they're broke? And there's others who are functionally illiterate. They can neither read nor write, but they can sign a check for $1 million. I remember one time at a meeting in Chicago, W. Clement Stone. This was back in 1970, and in 1970, he was the wealthiest man in the United States. He made a lot of grammatical errors when he spoke, but as Earl Nightingale said, he can write a check for $1 billion. Now think about that for a moment. Why is it that someone never goes to school, they're not very polished, and yet they're enormous winners, and other people they have degrees coming right off the end of their business card, and they just can't seem to make it? Why? Well, you know, most people just set that aside, and they think there isn't an answer to it. Well, I'm going to tell you there is an answer to it. And it's an answer that everyone can understand. And I believe when we understand it, everything in our life starts to change. You see, I was one of those people that was always losing. Didn't matter what I did from the time I was a little kid in school until I was 26. Didn't matter what I did. It just didn't work out right. I was never part of the group that was making it happen. And then all of a sudden, just like that, my whole world started to change. And I started to win. Didn't matter what I did, what I touched. It just seemed to turn to gold. What happened? Well, that's what I wanted to know. And I couldn't figure out what happened. You know, I knew I wasn't lucky. I seemed to have an innate awareness inside that there wasn't any such thing as luck, regardless of how much you want to believe it. And I thought, someone has to know what the heck happened to me. Now, a man named Ray Stanford suggested I read Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. I have become an avid student of Napoleon Hill and his mentor, Andrew Carnegie. I have never laid these books down. I have never stopped studying them. But at any rate, I picked them up and everything started to change. Changed like night and day. Then I got into Earl Nightingale's condensed narration of Napoleon Hill's book. And I started to listen to that record. Now, I was